Hey guys, so here I am with another video on common things that tend to mess us up. And this is simply a list of different items and technologies that are fairly common to us in our daily lives, but because of the way in which we have to interact with them, adapt to them, they tend to negatively impact our mobility, our comfort, our bodily tone. And what I'm going to recommend is that you minimize or augment the way in which you interact with these various things. And in the previous video, I went through flip-flops and how that can affect the way that you move around and your overall comfort. And in this one, I'm going to go through memory foam. All right, so what's the big deal with memory foam? Why am I saying that we should either limit or all out avoid using it? Well, I'm not sure there's anything really wrong with memory foam, but the way in which we've got to interact with it, well, it doesn't seem to work out too well for us. And that may come as a surprise because there are plenty of people out there that love their memory foam pillows and they love their memory foam mattresses. But the problem with memory foam is that it does not give us a predictable surface to interact with. And so we're able to just carry on in our same old rigid ways. And what do I mean by that? Well, at nowhere in the point of human evolution in the history of Earth have we ever rested or slept or eased ourselves onto a surface like memory foam. And if you've never laid on memory foam, then I recommend you try it just to experience it. You end up leaning on it, and by design, it gives in response to you. Now, that never happens on the planet Earth. Instead, they have varying firmness of surfaces, and we end up having to give into the surface, not the surface give into us. See, there's this constant force of gravity that is always pressing down onto us, and we have this constant counter force from the ground pressing back up. Unless, of course, there's a sinkhole, and then we fall into that until we finally smack solid ground. Memory foam breaks all those rules, and instead we're able to just sink into it, not having to change our shape, not having to settle out onto the ground. So what memory foam allows for is an individual that has a certain level of rigidity that may make it hard for them to let go and settle out onto the ground. Instead, they can purchase this lovely material that will give to them. So what exactly happens when someone will tend to favor the use of memory foam for their pillow or for their mattress as a whole? Well, what ends up happening is they never really settle out of the shape that they're bound up in. Ideally, throughout, say, a full night's sleep, if you're able to get that solid 7.5 hours, you get that 8-hour exposure that's typically recommended, an average human being will move 20 to 25 times throughout the night. There are some folks that only move 0, and there's some folks that move 90. Both are fairly abnormal, but we really need to be able to move and shift around in order to just allow for our body to reset, in order to get all the benefits of all the different phases of sleep, not just deep sleep, but even lighter sleep. Memory foam makes it very hard for us to move away from the contoured little pit that we'll fall into. So it sort of like holds you into that preferred shape that you stay in all day and you're able to sleep in there all night long. And even though the individual that loves memory foam may feel like they're able to get some comfortable sleep, when they stand up off of that memory foam mattress, knees crack, backs snap. Things are not always the most reset after a night's sleep on memory foam. So it may be comfortable in the immediate, but it becomes problematic in the long term as the person does not do whatever necessary work or allow for some necessary relaxation to allow their body to relax onto the ground, onto some sort of firm surface. Instead, they're seeking surfaces that conform to them. So if memory foam is not necessarily what I'm recommending folks to sleep on or to rest on for any length of time, it's absolutely fine. It's not gonna harm you by touching it, but it's not gonna serve you in the long run if that's what you favor for your pillows or for your mattresses. What are better options? Well, the best that we found so far seems to be spring mattresses. As many springs as you can buy, and as many individualized coils as you can buy, those seem to be the best at reproducing a forest floor, which we obviously evolved to sleep on the ground. Springs will reproduce that, and the more individualized the coils are, and the more coils they are, then you get a firm but somewhat giving surface that can be very comfortable. But the only way that it can be comfortable is if you yourself are able to let it go and spread out on that mattress. And if you're stuck holding your breath, clenching your teeth, and holding on to bodily tension, whether it's conscious or unconscious, that is not going to be very possible. However, if you are aware of those tendencies and you do the work regularly to not get stuck in them, then you're going to be able to lay down on a wonderful high spring count mattress and just let it go and enjoy some shut-eye. So if you have any tendency to favor memory foam, know that it's not going to serve you in the long run. And if you are looking to get a new mattress, for the love of God, avoid a memory foam mattress and instead pay out your nose for a high spring count. And if you're able to interact with it and get your body to be able to let go and settle onto it, you're going to be happy not just throughout the night, but also the next morning and arguably for many mornings to come.